If right now you think about your current life, what is the main thing that you want to change? In this video, I'm going to share with you the 2 categories that you need to master in order to completely transform whatever came into your head when you thought about what you want to be different in your life. And I say categories instead of steps because this is not a linear process, and the 2 categories will help and affect each other. If you want a different life than the one that you're living, the beautiful thing is that it is 100% possible. The first thing that you want to do is thank your pain. Thank the excruciating gnawing feeling that is telling you that this is not enough. This is not how it's supposed to be. Maybe your reality is truly unbearable and you're using any substance that you possibly can to escape reality. There are so many people who literally cannot stand being in their life. However, we have the power to change it. So the first category that you need to master is adopting a new identity. And in order to adopt a new identity, you have to brainwash yourself. You were programmed, like literally like a computer, to think a certain way, to believe a certain way, to think that certain things are possible for you and others are not. There are identities that limit you. Maybe you think that you're not very smart, or you're not very athletic, or you're not very talented, or you're not very beautiful. Whatever it is, there was something that happened. Society, your family, all of these outside forces have shaped the way that you think about yourself. You now get to be the one to decide that you no longer subscribed to that identity. How do you do that? I think one of the easiest ways to do that is to honestly work with your vices. I bet that if you're watching this video, you probably spend a lot of time on either YouTube or Instagram. Even if you don't spend a lot, I bet you spend some time on social media. Most people probably don't even want to admit how much time they actually spend scrolling and consuming. And honestly, that's okay. When you want to change your reality and you're actively looking to adopt a new identity, make sure that every single person that you follow has something that you want. Whether it's their income level, how they're showing up on social media, their confidence, how they look, how they dress, what they've created. Every single person on your social media feed should be a reflection of who you want to become. You know that idea that you are the combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Your phone is definitely one of those people. So make sure that everybody in your phone, when you're scrolling and when you're consuming, is shaping your identity. How do you want to talk? How do you want to think? How do you want to move in this world? Unfollow every single person who you don't want to be like, and follow all of the people who you do want to be like. When I'm consuming social media, I'm always looking for me. And your intention is, no, I am adopting a new reality. And right now in this moment, as I'm consuming, I'm brainwashing myself into becoming these people that I admire or that I'm entertained by. Once you are clear about who you want to be, then you need to embody the energy. It is not enough to visualize. It is not enough to think like them, speak like them, and believe like them. You want to be aware of any limiting narrative. And you want to also remove the language of I'm not. If you say I'm not a confident person, you want to switch it to I'm becoming a confident person, or I'm practicing being a confident person. Adopting the identity of the version of yourself that you want to be, it is going to require evidence from your reality. And what's tricky about this is that you probably have stocked up a bunch of evidence against the reality that you want and the person that you need to become to get it. Because remember, your circumstances change when you become the person who will change your circumstances. That is why the identity shift is so important. Too many people are waiting for their circumstances to change instead of knowing, taking ownership, taking their power back, not giving it to anything outside of themselves, like something as ambiguous as circumstances, and saying, no, I am the leader of my life. I am the one who creates change, who shifts my reality into the one that I want. I'm not here to wait around for somebody to come into my reality and say, do you want it to change? You can wait for your circumstances to change until something so horrible happens and so painful that it breaks you and you have no other option other than to shift your reality. And depending on your response, you can see that as a mercy. You can see that as, oh, wow, this is a huge catalyst for transformation and I need to be acting differently. Or you could see it as, oh, I'm a victim of these horrible things that are happening to me. You are the one who decides how life is translated. Just because something is painful to experience doesn't mean that it's bad for you. Oftentimes, pain is the thing that helps us grow and expand to become the person to actually attain the things that we want in this life. And it's so interesting because so many people are literally fighting for their old reality. If you really believed that you were the person who had those results, you would act. You wouldn't just sit on your couch and think about it. If you had those results, you would be taking the actions necessary in order to have them. One really easy to understand example is a physical example. If you think of yourself, right, you're adopting this identity of I am an athlete. Right? If you really adopt that identity, you're not just going to be visualizing playing the game, going to the gym, training. No, if you really believe that you're an athlete, what do athletes do? They go to the gym, they train, they hire coaches. They're not sitting on the couch and believing that every workout is too hard for them. Embodying the energy of your identity is very much so dependent on action. If you're not acting, your identity actually isn't really locked in and loaded. Actions are the truest sign of belief. Imagine if someone says, I love you, but everything that they do goes against what loving someone is, right? Your actions validate your beliefs. And also your beliefs validate your actions. So that's why I'm saying the two of them are like a feedback loop. When you believe something, you act. And then when you act, it helps you believe it. And when you believe it, you act. And when you act, right? It's this like loop that keeps going and going and going. But you have to start. So whichever one feels easier, like actually going and doing something or believing something, start there. And then typically one is easier and one is harder for people. So whatever one is easy, start there and then do the hard one. Some people call it faith. Some people call it delusion. I don't care what you call it. But when you act in a way that doesn't correspond to your current reality, when you have no results, but still showing up like you do, that delusional mindset or that faith-based mindset, right? I believe in something that I don't even see. You have to have that. You have to decide that no obstacle will keep you from your new reality. You show up anyway. You do it scared. You do it fearful. That is courage. That is true courage. This is not a comfortable process. And that's why so many people either wait for their life to fall apart or they'll start to try and then they'll self-sabotage and they'll go back to their old reality because it's very, very uncomfortable. And know that that is the sign that you are right on track. Know that the discomfort will last forever. And you can also microdose discomfort, right? You don't have to do everything all at once, but just building up your tolerance for that discomfort. That's really going to help you transform. There are many ups and downs, so expect the downs and also expect the ups. When we're up, it's hard for us to remember that we're going to come back down. And when we're down, we're like, oh, I'm never going to get back up, right? No, it's literally just both. And one very advanced skill is learning to reframe the ups and the downs as for you, right? Instead of, oh my gosh, I'm going through this intense obstacle, reframing it and saying, oh, this obstacle is here to train me. Right? I'm here battling this opponent of an obstacle so that I get good for the next level. It's literally all here on purpose, no matter how painful it feels in the moment. This will not get me down. I will overcome this. I will not be stopped. You have to make a conscious decision that you are a winner and that you're somebody who wins. You're not somebody who at the slightest uncomfortable or scary thing, you back down. Your brain can think of so many reasons that it won't succeed. I do want to warn you of some potential pitfalls, some things that may happen when you decide to transform your life. A lot of times people will go through breakups. People will betray them. You'll discover that people are gossiping behind your back that you really thought were your friends, but they end up being your enemies. People will try to humble you. Your own brain will constantly try to self-sabotage you. Just know when that happens that you're not doing anything wrong. It's par for the course. It's oftentimes the price you pay. If you feel like your life is literally falling apart, and you're losing everything and you're in an intense season of isolation, that is probably because you're about to have a huge breakthrough. Honestly, when you're going through a really tough season like that, it's very dark, very painful. It means that all of these outside voices that are keeping you in your current reality with your current identity are being divinely removed so that you can be alone and actually listen to what you want. and what you want to do and how you want to change your life, because you're the only one who really knows it. Especially if you're someone who's a people pleaser, who's overly reliant on what other people think. If you start to lose everything and you're all alone, that is such a huge gift. It's a mercy, because you are going to be able to create from a place that only relies on you and your voice and the voice of your higher self. And it absolutely feels so hellish and excruciating, but be certain of the fact that it is actually a gift that's preparing you for your biggest breakthrough. Just remember, with the process of transformation, you need to be committing, recommitting over and over and over again. Notice when you start to go back to who you used to be and say, nope, I caught that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to shame myself for the fact that I did it. It's okay, right? I'm going through the process and I decide to continue and to not do that again. And remember, you don't have to be naturally gifted at anything. The only thing that you have to do is be unnaturally consistent. If you keep putting action in, you keep doing the work and you keep going, eventually the results will follow. And just remember that your reality is a delayed reaction to what you believe about yourself. Okay, so if you're changing your beliefs, you're upgrading your identity, and you're acting according to that upgraded identity, whatever is in your reality is what you were thinking about yourself about 3 months ago. You don't get the results of your upgraded identity right away. What you're experiencing is what you used to think about who you are. If you're changing it and you completely changed your mindset, just know that your results are coming. It's delayed. That delay is a mercy. Imagine if you sought something and then you instantly got it. But then what if you manifested something that actually wasn't actually for you? Imagine if you had manifested the person that you wanted to marry when you were 20, or like your first boyfriend. No, that would have been bad. So if something didn't work out, trust that it wasn't supposed to. This is all about taking ownership of your life, being the leader of your life. And then the universe will bless you. But the universe has got to see some hustle. Imagine that the universe is a billionaire dad who has literally every resource available to you, but he's also a good dad. So he's not just going to spoil you rotten. Anytime you ask for something, he's going to say, okay, well, why do you want that? If you're like, Dad, I want $1 million. He's like, okay, well, what is the purpose? I have $1 million. I can just wire it to you, but do you want to create something out of it? Do you want to just sit there and do nothing? Because that's not going to leave you fulfilled. Oh, you want to create a successful business? Okay, cool. Show me the business plan. Oh, you don't have a business plan? Okay, well, you need to work on that. And then once he sees the business plan, he's like, okay, I'll send you the clients. I'll send you the funding. But you have to actually be showing that you want it. If you're a woman who wants to be confident, you want to show up on social media, you want to build a brand, you want to build a business so that you don't have to work a 9 to 5, you don't want to struggle or be in survival mode. And the idea of creating an online brand based on your lifestyle is appealing to you, but you have no idea where to start, or maybe you've started before and you've failed, or you haven't been consistent, or you haven't kept going. If you're ready, if you know, like, I cannot do this anymore, I'm ready to supercharge my life and actually create the life of my dreams, book a one-on-one call with me. The link is in the description. I hope that this week you get just a little bit closer to the life of your dreams, and I'll see you next time. Bye.